Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. We broke things. Things have been broken. Let's try to unbreak them now and get back to it. It is coming up to 11:30 on this, the 26th of April, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers. Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We have a possible, if not probable, tornado about to cross over Highway 36, very near Flat and Leon Junction. This dangerous thunderstorm, compared to the live stream we did a few minutes ago, is moving northeast, still at 40 miles an hour, and has become much more organized. The potential for a tornado rapidly increasing. Those of you in Leon Junction and Flat need to be in a safe place now. Those of you southeast of Gatesville need to be in a safe place now. Those of you from McGregor, Oldsby to Crawford need to be moving to a safe place. This thunderstorm has an increasing potential to produce a tornado, and as it continues to move northeast at about 40 miles an hour, 35 to 40 miles an hour, this storm will pose an increasing threat to McLennan County. This could eventually be an issue for the city of Waco. The potential now increasing significantly that we could have a tornado developing or in progress about to cross Highway 36 near Leon Junction and Flat. The circulation is going to stay southeast of Gatesville, pose a direct threat to Oldsby, McGregor, this storm's going to be in town by noon. Again, this is a dangerous thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about to cross Highway 36, coming off the fort. This will be crossing Highway 36 about 5 miles south of Highway south of Highway 84, moving northeast towards Oldsby. This is going to be crossing Highway 84 near Oldsby to McGregor in the next 30 minutes. This is a dangerous thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado with a much, much stronger area of low-level rotation. The potential increasing quickly now that we could be dealing with significant issues in the tornado department soon, if not now. All right, I need to do some quick housekeeping to get this back on the app. It is 11:31 a.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. A possible tornado crossing Highway 36, 5 miles southeast of Gatesville, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. We do have a couple other storms. Some of them do have hail, but at this point we're focusing on the most problematic situation, which is this storm with a tornado warning coming off Fort Hood, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour towards Oldsby, McGregor, Crawford, and western McLennan County. This thunderstorm may pose a direct threat to the city of Waco by 12:15 p.m., and it could still be producing tornadoes. Those of you in the city of Waco, Woodway, heads up. Again, this thunderstorm is one that may be capable of producing a tornado as it approaches Woodway in the city of Waco by 12:15 p.m., 45 minutes from now. This will be in Oldsby to McGregor by noon. So we want folks in Oldsby, McGregor, Leon Junction, Flat, moving northeast, 35 miles an hour. Yes, this storm could pose a direct threat to Belmead by 12:15 to 12:30. Just looking at some things here. We'll switch to the loop over the last hour. While I do this, we note the Storm Prediction Center has just upgraded portions of North Texas and Northeast Texas to a level 3 out of 5 risk with an increased tornado threat, which makes sense based off what we're seeing right now. We'll talk more about that in a bit. All right, it's 11:35 a.m. This the 26th of April 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chaser's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer covering a problematic situation. We didn't have a line of storms move through portions of north and central Texas this morning, which means instead of a squall line this morning with some wind, heavy rain, maybe hail, we are getting scattered severe thunderstorms, some of which have evolved into supercells. The threat for tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, increasing across North Texas and Northeast Texas over the next several hours. We have a possible tornado that has just crossed Highway 36, 5 to 6 miles southeast of Gatesville. This is moving towards Oglesby, McGregor, Crawford, eventually posing a threat to McLennan County, including Woodway, Waco, Belmead, and Lacey Lakeview by 12:15 to 12:30 p.m. This is a supercell that may be rather long-lived in the fact it has nothing to impede its development and progress. We note a couple of storms going up in DFW, south of DFW. We're going to have to watch all of these storms for signs of organization. They, too, could become supercellular and pose a threat of severe weather. At this time, however, we only have one tornado warning, and that is for this storm, now about 6 miles southeast of McGregor, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. We encourage those of you in North Texas, Northeast Texas, to maintain situational awareness of what we have going on. Again, a possible tornado now 6 miles southeast of Gatesville, moving towards Oglesby and McGregor. We'll go back to the how hard it's raining mode with the high-res version. You can see we have a supercell. This supercell now east of Highway 36. If you are in Gatesville, this is not going to be an issue for you. Gatesville, if you're in the city of Gatesville, you're clear. If you were east of Gatesville, say east of South Mountain to Oglesby and McGregor on Highway 84, you need to be in a safe place. That's going to be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This could eventually pose a direct threat to the city of Crawford, McGregor, Oglesby, Woodway, Waco, Belmead, Lacey Lakeview, as it moves northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour. If you have folks in Waco, McLennan County, down Highway 84 to McGregor, make sure they know they've got a dangerous thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado moving up 84, generally towards McGregor and eventually the city of Waco. We have additional thunderstorms now intensifying. We have a storm that is in Johnson County, southwest of Cleburne. That's moving northeast. That's going to require a severe thunderstorm warning for hail shortly. That could pose a direct threat to the city of Cleburne up to Mansfield in the next 45 minutes. That could have large hail. We have a severe storm over Cranfield's Gap on Highway 22 moving towards Meridian. That could have at least quarter-size hail. And again, here's the storm in Johnson County I was talking about, west of Rio Vista, west of Highway 171, moving northeast towards Cleburne and Keene, moving northeast pretty quickly at that. The potential for that to produce hail. Cleburne up to Mansfield, Kennedale, Arlington. A possible tornado is now located 5 to 6 miles southeast of Gatesville, now east of Highway 34, moving towards Oglesby and McGregor in portions of Corral County, moving towards McLennan County, riding up Highway 84 towards the city of Waco. Now, for those of you asking, what about me, what about me, best advice I can give you is we're going to focus on the most intense storms here, meaning this tornado warning southeast of Gatesville. Other storms could have hail, strong winds. If they go tornado warned as well, we'll deal with them as needed. We'll juggle. Download the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app for interactive weather radars. You can watch us live coverage in the app. For those of you also wanting a desktop or using desktops, you can visit our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar for severe weather coverage. I'm going to do some housekeeping real quick. La 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 la. All right. My apologies. Taking a minute here to get some housekeeping done. It looks like this storm is undergoing a bit of a cycle again. It may have just reorganized. It might be on the uptick here again. All right, we did that. I need to switch that. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Right, there we go. Okay, so we should be live on pretty much every social media platform we participate on. And again, we could be dealing with some other severe storms in North Texas and Northeast Texas over the next several hours. The potential for the most intense storms to produce tornadoes, hail up the size of baseballs, damaging straight-line winds. We have a single tornado warning right now, 6 miles southeast of Gatesville, moving northeast towards Highway 84, a direct threat to Oglesby and McGregor Crawford. If you're on 317 from south of Valley Mills to McGregor, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes. Grab a sweatshirt if you got one, just in case we have any sort of falling debris issue or flying debris. That'll give you a little extra protection. Bicycle helmet, a helmet, sporting helmet, something like that would be a good idea to have as well for flying debris. Again, this storm is likely to pose a direct threat to places like China Springs, Crawford, Golson, Ross, Lacey Lakeview, Belmead, Waco, Woodway, Leroy in the next 45 minutes. If this storm continues on its present course and speed, a tornado warning will be required for those communities soon. So get ready. We'd advise no travel on Interstate 35 as this thunderstorm approaches at about 12:15 to 12:30 p.m. The potential for this storm to produce a tornado as it crosses over Interstate 35 from, let's just say, no travel between West and Hewitt. In about 30 to 45 minutes. You've still got some time now, but get ready. You're probably going to have a tornado warning in the next little while as this storm moves northeast at 35 to 40 miles per hour. This storm is now well northeast of Copperas Cove. If you're in Copperas Cove, you're clear. Lampasas, you're clear. If you're on the Fort, you're clear. Killeen, you're clear. Those of you in Gatesville, you're clear. If you are west of South Mountain, those of you on Highway 34 from Gatesville to Flat, you are clear. Those of you on Highway 84 near Oglesby, you are not clear. You better be in a safe place now. This thing's got attitude. This is definitely a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. At 11:39 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Fort Gates, It's east of Fort Gates now by about 4 miles, about 4 to 5 miles east of Gatesville, about to cross Highway 84. This thunderstorm is moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. This will be near the city of Crawford at 11:55 a.m. Central Time. And again, we do have other thunderstorms that are capable of producing gusty winds, heavy rain, and hail. We've got a storm near Cranfill's Gap moving northeast towards Meridian. That could have quarter-size hail. We've got a severe thunderstorm located over Johnson County near Rio Vista up to Cleburne. That could have hail. But at this point, that is all we're talking about. Hail, gusty winds with those storms. A significant exception is this thunderstorm on Highway 84, now 4 to 5 miles east of Gatesville, capable of producing a tornado at any time as it moves towards Crawford, McGregor, and eventually a direct threat to McLennan County. It seems this storm's taking more of a northeast trek now, so if that continues, that may keep it more north of Hewitt, north of Woodway, but more of a threat to places like Golson, Ross, Lacey, Lakeview, Belmead, and perhaps the city of Waco. Very strong low-level rotation indicative that a tornado may develop at any time with this thunderstorm as it moves northeast towards Crawford, and especially Crawford, as this storm tracks further northeast. So again, here is the reflectivity. Very strong low-level rotation with this thunderstorm. We'll switch back to this. You can see we'll do a pixel-to-pixel check. We have winds moving away from the radar at about 80 miles an hour. Winds moving towards the radar about 40. So we have about 110 to 120 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear, indicative that we have a increasing potential for a tornado in progress now on Highway 84. This would be just east of FM 1829, moving towards FM 185 on Highway 84. Those of you in the city of McGregor, Oglesby, up to Crawford, you need to be in a safe place now. Debris checker, we don't have any sort of tornado debris signature yet. That is good, but again, this is a thunderstorm capable, if not probable, of producing a tornado. Those of you in Oglesby, McGregor, and Crawford need to be in a safe place. This low-level rotation continues to increase in velocity, indicating the potential that we could have a tornado develop any second if it is not in progress now. Thank you, Jason. I've got Zello up just in case I really mess up at something. So again, it is 11:47 a.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We have a probable tornado in progress now on Highway 84 between McGregor and South Mountain, Gatesville, now about a mile or 2 miles east of FM 1829, approaching quickly FM 185 near Oglesby. This thunderstorm, a direct threat to life and property as it moves northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour. We're going to put a storm track on this. I want to see exactly, try to give folks a little bit of estimation on when this is going to arrive. Now, with these, we're going to give this a lot of room here just in case. And I'm going to do 40 miles an hour. This will be in Crawford by 11:55 to noon. McGregor, noon. Golson, 12:25. Woodway, 12:20. The city of Waco, especially along and north of Highway 84, 12:25. Lacey, Lakeview, and Interstate 35, 12:30. Belmead, 12:30, Ross, 12:35, and Leroy, 12:45. If it goes super far north, the city of West at 12:40 p.m. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour into McLennan County. A new tornado warning will be required shortly for McLennan County. Up towards the city of Waco, Lacey, Lakeview, Golson, Ross. You might as well get ready. Your sirens are going to be going at some point. Now, the good news is we have not had any ground reports of a tornado in progress yet, but the low-level rotation is quite strong. This storm has the potential to produce a tornado at any time. Cleburne to Rio Vista, you've got a thunderstorm capable of producing probably at least nickel-sized hail, moving northeast quickly towards Keene, Briar Oaks, Lillian, Alvarado. Eventually a threat to Mansfield and Arlington. We've got a storm near Cranfield's Gap, moving towards Meridian. That could have nickel-sized hail. We've got a storm Laguna Park over to Aquila, south of Lake Whitney, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Could have small hail with it. Again, we have a single tornado warning at this time. That's going to be for this thunderstorm that is now halfway between... Well, I'm not going to say halfway. Let's just do it this way. Let's put a distance marker on this. This is about 6 to 7 miles northwest of McGregor, 6 miles southwest of Crawford. This is going to be crossing Highway 317, very near the city of Crawford in the next 10 minutes. Those of you in Crawford to McGregor need to be in a safe place. That's your lowest floor. Center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Those of you south of Valley Mills, we'd advise no travel between Valley Mills and McGregor on 317. We'd advise no travel at this time between the city of Woodway and Valley Mills on Highway 6. And shortly, we're going to be advising no travel on Interstate 35 between the city of Waco and, let's just go ahead and say, west. We may have to extend that north to Abbott, as this thunderstorm moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour has the potential of producing a tornado. I expect we'll have a new tornado warning issued shortly for those communities based on the present speed and intensity. All right, let's do some cleanup here. At 11:50 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 6 miles southwest of Crawford or 8 miles west of McGregor, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. This thunderstorm will be near Crawford in the next 5 minutes. Those of you in Crawford to McGregor need to be in a safe place now. Those of you downstream of this, from the city of Waco to China Springs to Belmead to Lacey Lakeview to Elmont. Can't tell if I had to sneeze. I had to sneeze. Need to be ready to move into a safe place. Golson, Lacey Lakeview, Ross, Belmead, Waco, Woodway, China Springs, Elmont, Leroy. Prepare for a tornado warning. You will likely be under one shortly. Get ready to move to your safe place. Grab some hard sole shoes. Grab a helmet. Doesn't matter if it's a bicycle helmet, a sporting helmet, a motorcycle helmet, etc. We would advise you to get ready to move to your safe place. If you are a business or at a business, I would also advise you to get ready to move to your safe place. If you are in the city of Waco, Woodway, China Springs, Golson, Ross, Elmont, Lacey Lakeview, Belmead, a tornado warning will probably be issued sooner rather than later for your community, as a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is now 4 to 5 miles southwest of Crawford, moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles per hour. Here, I'll put it on the map for y'all. Get ready. The which way the wind's blowing mode, you can see we have a well-defined low-level mesocyclone. Quite intense one at that, approaching Crawford. This could drop a tornado at any time. We've not had any ground reports of a tornado at this point, but the low-level circulation is impressive, and a tornado is possible at any point. We notice the hail indications with this storm have come down, which aren't necessarily a good thing. There's some new research that suggests when we see a decrease in the hail core, the potential for a tornado may increase in some situations like this. Here we go. Low-level rotation ramping up further. We notice from the Granger radar, winds moving away at about 50 miles an hour. Winds moving towards about 50 miles an hour. So we've got a 100 mile per hour circulation. So that's a strong mesocyclone, meaning this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado at any time. Now, let's go ahead and do some telestration on here. Give me just a second. All right. There's Highway 317. Just going to get some roads on here while I'm thinking about it. This is just to help me with situational awareness. I know that's too small for y'all to really read, but it'll help me at least. Circulation coming up on Pleasant Run Road in Crawford, Roast Road, Plainview Road, Cedar Rock Parkway, now east of Standpipe Road, north of Highway 84. Those of you in Crawford need to be in a safe place. That'll be your lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This storm has the low-level and mid-level mesocyclone is increasing, getting stronger, indicating this could drop a tornado at any time. Those of you in China Springs, Woodway, Hewitt, Waco, Belmead, Golson, Ross, Lacey Lakeview, you will likely, unless something drastically changes in the next 5 minutes, be under a tornado warning soon. Go ahead and get ready to move to your safe spot. Again, I've been trying to give this population center around Waco as much time as I can. You've got probably 20 minutes before this thing's on you, and there's probably going to be a tornado warning with it. Again, here's the latest scan. Low-level rotation continuing to increase. The potential for a tornado now becoming high. Those of you in Crawford, we need you in a safe place now. Okay? You can see what's called a bounded weak echo region. That little donut hole there, that's not a tornado necessarily. That is the low-level rotation acting like a centrifuge. It's rotating quickly enough to essentially throw rain outside of the area of circulation, rotating around it, thus creating that void area of reflectivity in the how hard it's raining mode. Those of you in Crawford to McGregor, Highway 317, should have been in shelter 15 minutes ago. You better be in shelter now. After that, those of you east of Crawford to China Springs, the Waco Regional Airport to Woodway, you're going to be next in the next 15 minutes. You need to be in a safe place. A tornado warning will be needed shortly for the city of Waco, Woodway, China Springs, Belmead, Lacey Lakeview, Elmont, Ross. At this point, we would advise no travel after 12:10 to at least 12:45 for I-35 between Hewitt, Waco, Belmead, Lacey Lakeview, west. All right, we want folks to this one's the real deal, folks. Very strong rotation now that continues to increase in intensity. We have winds moving away from the radar. Now at 55 miles an hour, winds moving towards the radar at about 55 miles an hour. So we're up to 110 mile per hour shear. That's up from 100 a few minutes ago. Rotation continues to increase. Those of you in Crawford need to be in a safe place now. And then after that, this is going to be moving into a more densely populated area. Folks asking about other storms. We have no other severe storms in the state of Texas right now. That won't necessarily stay true. We have a hail core over Briar Oaks, 35W. That could have nickel, maybe some quarter-size hail. We have no other storms capable of producing tornadoes right now. This one that's about to move into the Waco Population Center is it. All right, for the moment. Gate-to-gate shear. Let's look at the... All right, we don't have any debris. That is good. Rotation coming up. Pleasant Run Road, Highway 317, Crawford. Need to be in a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This storm moving northeast. Okay, Fort Worth Weather Service, this would be a really good time to put that tornado warning out. Near Crawford, moving towards Ross, west, Lacey Lakeview, Belmead, west and north sides of the city of Waco, Golson, China Springs, Woodway. We've got cloud-to-ground lightning pelting Waco, Woodway, China Springs right now. We've got a possible tornado crossing Highway 317 very near or just south of the city of Crawford. McGregor, this is to your north. If you are on 84 in McGregor, you're clear from this. If you are north of 84 in McGregor, you better stay in shelter. If you're in Gatesville, you're clear. If you're in Oglesby, you're clear. If you are in Woodway, China Springs, Waco, especially west and north sides of Waco, up to Lacey Lakeview, Elmont, Ross, Golson, West, Leroy, you are under the gun. You will be under a tornado warning in a moment. You need to move to a safe place. We'd advise no travel on Interstate 35 in the next 20 minutes. Well, 15 to 20 minutes between Waco and Abbott. As the storm with strong low-level rotation approaches Interstate 35 by 12:20 to 12:30 this afternoon.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Dallas, Ellis, Johnson, and Tarrant County in Texas.
All right, that's for hail. We'll go take a look at that real quick. Clear off this. Okay, so that's for this hailer. Over 35W, Burleson to Briar Oaks. Severe thunderstorm now capable of producing, what do they got at quarters? Quarter-size hail, winds of 65 miles an hour. From Burleson to Briar Oaks, back to the 70s we go. Yippity-doo, yippity-yay. Don't you love it when the radar does that? I don't. Moving northeast towards Arlington, Mansfield, Duncanville, Cockrell Hill, Irving, Dallas. Eventually Dallas Love Field. This thunderstorm capable of producing quarter-size hail, winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Right over, well, the radar's sighting Burleson to Briar Oaks. So y'all in Mansfield, Arlington, Grand Prairie, Cockrell Hill, Irving. You're going to begin hail and strong winds in the next 20 minutes. Eventually making it towards Love Field, Farmers Branch, Carrollton, Addison, Richardson. Storm moving northeast at 40 to 45 miles an hour, okay? No tornado issues with that. We'll keep an eye on it, but it doesn't look like a spinny, doom candidate at this point. This storm further south is a different story. Now, real quick, let's see which radar has a good view of this. Okay, 63... Okay, it's going to be the Granger radar. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is now over the city of Crawford. Winds moving away from the radar, 60 miles an hour. Winds moving towards the radar in the which way the wind's blowing mode at about 40, so to 45. about 100 to 105 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. Okay, Fort Worth, this would be a really good time to put a tornado warning out for places like China Springs, Golson, Ross, Elmont, Lacey, Lakeview, Belmead, and Waco. We don't issue tornado warnings. That is the job of the National Weather Service, and they do a good job of that. We just relay what we're seeing. And there it is.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Bosque, Hill, and McLennan County in Texas.
All right, this is going to be a tornado warning. This does include China Springs, Golson, Ross, Elmont, Lacey, Lakeview, Belmead, the city of Waco, Waco Regional Airport, the city of West, Leroy, and Axtell. Let's talk about who's in and who's out. If you're in this red blinky box of doom, you need to take action, and that is your tornado safety precautions. If you're not in this box, you don't need to do that. If you are in the city of Waco, Belmead, Lacey, Lakeview, Ross, Golson, China Spring, Leroy, West, you are in a tornado warning. Take action. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes, grab a helmet. Bicycle helmet, sporting helmet, doesn't matter. If you're in a multi-story business or commercial occupancy, get as low as you can. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We would advise now no travel on Interstate 35 between Abbott and the city of Waco for the next 30 minutes as a storm capable of producing a tornado moves towards Interstate 35. We would advise no travel on Highway 6 between Valley Mills and the city of Waco. We'd advise no travel on China Spring Road between Valley Mills and the city of Waco. Pretty much, if you're in the northern half of McLennan County, from Waco to Abbott, from Crawford to Leroy, be a good person and take your tornado safety precautions. Here's the which way the wind's blowing mode. Strong low-level rotation now east of Highway 317. Near the city of Crawford, we have winds moving towards the radar at 57 miles per hour. We have winds moving away from the radar at 55 miles an hour. So now we're back up to near 110 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. Strong low-level rotation continues. We've been fortunate. We haven't heard of any severe weather, or any confirmed tornadoes at this point. But that is not a guarantee that is going to stay true with this thunderstorm as it moves northeast at 35 miles per hour. It's 12:07 p.m. I'm Texas Storm Chaser's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. This on the 26th of April, 2024. A possible tornado now 2 miles east of the city of Crawford, moving towards Golson, China Springs, Belmead, west sides of the city of Waco, Lacey, Lakeview, Elmont, Ross, Golson, West, Leroy, and Axtell. You are in a tornado warning. Take your tornado safety precautions now. Lowest floor, center room. Away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes. Grab a helmet. Bicycle helmet, sporting helmet, motorcycle helmet. We don't care. A construction helmet if you want. That'll protect you in the event we have flying or falling debris. That'll protect your head. Hard sole shoes. That's so if you end up having to walk on broken glass, something like that, your feet don't get cut up. Possible tornado. Now approaching Cattle Drive, 5th Street. Eventually moving pretty much right towards Waco Regional Airport. This thunderstorm now 3 miles east of the city of Crawford, pretty much riding up Cedar Rock Parkway towards Highway 6. This is 9 miles southwest of Waco Airport, 7 miles south-southwest of China Springs, 12 miles west of downtown Waco, 14 miles west-southwest of Belmead, 16 to 17 miles southwest of Elmont, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Take your tornado safety precautions. Now, doing a little analyzing. rotation has weakened just a little bit. Still quite strong, but let's not make it sound like we don't have any sort of spinny doom problems here. We do. Winds moving away from the radar about let's just say 50. Winds moving towards the radar about 30. So we're about 80 to 90 mile an hour rotation now. Storm remains quite capable of producing a tornado with strong low to mid-level rotation. We note we do have a thunderstorm in the DFW metroplex, likely dropping nickel to quarter-size hail. Strong winds in Forest Hill, Kennedale, Rendon, Mansfield, moving towards Pantego, Arlington. John Bergdorf's going to be sad. Towards Six Flags over Texas, the stadiums, Galore, Grand Prairie. Eventually towards Grand Prairie, Cockrell Hill, Irving, Dallas, Love Field. Potential for nickel to quarter-size hail. Winds 60 to 70 miles an hour. This is not a candidate for spinny doom potential at this time, but we will keep a very close eye on it. Don't you worry about that. Candidate for a tornado is this thunderstorm now 3 to 4 miles east of the city of Crawford, moving northeast. I have to reset the radar program. Moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. We note we've got okay, that's a pretty strong velocity couplet. Couple storms going up again near Gatesville. We're going to have to watch those. This thunderstorm now 4 miles east of Crawford. You're looking at the how hard it's raining mode. Notice this little donut hole of lower how much intensity it's raining, called reflectivity. That's called a bounded weak echo region. The rotation is strong enough to where it is causing the rain to be pushed outside of the circulation, creating that void. That is the centrifugal force. As we switch over to the velocity mode, it'd be nice if, the roads would load. Apparently, I'm just not having good luck with this program today. That's okay. We'll try this again, ladies and gentlemen. I just won't touch it. And folks asking about storms near them. Storm in Arlington could have quarter-size hail. Strong winds, no low-level rotation. That's the only other severe storm we have in the state of Texas. We're going to focus on this dangerous storm. We do note this storm back near Gatesville. We're going to need to watch that for low-level rotation. Starting to see a bit of a mesocyclone with that. We have very strong rotation now with this thunderstorm. Northeast of Crawford, winds moving towards the radar at about 50 to 55. Winds moving away, I can tell you, without the probe. That's about 50 to 55. And again, so we're back up to about 100 to 105 mile per hour low-level rotation. The potential for this thunderstorm to produce a tornado at any time. And again, we're focusing on the most intense storms here. I realize we got hail falling in Kennedale and Arlington. Y'all aren't about to get hit by a tornado, so with respect, we need to focus on those who have a direct threat to their life and property from a tornado. We need to focus on that right now. Hail, inconvenient, yes, but unless you walk outside and decide to get hit with it, it's probably not going to hurt you that much. Tornado, on the other hand, that's more of a problem.
Texas local storm report from 2 miles southeast of Kennedale in Tarrant County, Texas. Hail magnitude estimated 1.00 inch. Reported by public. Additional information. Report from Ping.
Okay, so again, hail-wise, the potential for at least quarter-size hail, maybe larger. Dalworthington Gardens, Arlington, moving towards pretty much Six Flags, the stadiums, 30 and 360 in the next 5 minutes. The potential for a thunderstorm to produce a tornado about to cross over Highway 6 between Valley Mills and then moving pretty much right towards Waco Airport. Let me get some road names back on here. Twin Bends Road. So again, low-level rotation near Shiloh Church Road, Compton Road, coming up to Highway 6, Old Crawford Road. Here, let's just do this.
Texas local storm report from Arlington in Tarrant County, Texas. Hail magnitude measured 1.00 inch. Reported by Train Spotter. Additional information, quarter hail reported in Arlington.
There you go, it's hailing in Arlington. Now, if there's a little bit of good news, it's the rotation's downtrending. I mean, it's still strong. I'm not saying we don't have a tornado threat with this storm now on Highway 6 about 4 miles south of China Springs. It's just that we've seen a bit of a downtrend over the last few minutes. That can reverse itself, and it can get rambunctious real quick again. But I'm also keeping this zoomed out a bit so those of you in the metroplex can see what we have. We have a storm with quarter-size hail at least. The hail could honestly start approaching the size of ping pong balls. This is going to be bringing hail to Arlington now, about to move into Euless, Grand Prairie in the next 5 minutes. Irving in 10 minutes, could approach the south side of DFW Airport. Eventually thereafter, moving towards Carrollton, Farmers Branch, University Park, Love Field, Dallas. We have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now on Highway 6 near Old Crawford Road. Coming up towards Reynolds Creek. 4 miles west-southwest of Waco Regional Airport. I could say with some certainty now this circulation is going to remain west-north of the city of Waco. If you're in Waco, this circulation will stay west and north of you. So while I'd encourage you to remain vigilant, those of you in Waco, it looks like at least this is going to stay to your to your west and north. Those of you, that places China Springs, Golson, Ross, Elmont, West, and Leroy in the direct line of fire for this over the next several minutes, including Waco Regional Airport. So if you're in the city of Waco in Woodway, if you're inside of 3051 around Waco, you're probably going to be okay from this. I think it's going to stay to your west and north. That being said, the city of Waco is under a tornado warning for now, so you got to respect that. Respect the polygon and take your tornado safety precautions, but this will likely remain west and north of the city of Waco. More of an issue for Waco Regional Airport, China Springs, Golson, Elmont, Lacey Lakeview, and Ross. We have a severe thunderstorm now moving through the DFW Metroplex. We have a storm producing quarter to ping pong ball size hail. In Arlington to Dalworthington Gardens to Mansfield, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. This will be in Grand Prairie, Irving, Euless the next 5 minutes. Thereafter, moving from Farmers Branch to University Park to Dallas. Love Field especially in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Quarter to maybe ping pong ball size hail. And again, for those of you wondering what all is going on near you, I'd encourage you to check out the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. interactive weather radar, storm chasing video, live severe weather coverage, and you're also able to keep an eye on things for your local area. So again, we have a tornado warning for McLennan County and far southern Hill County. This includes China Springs, Golson, Ross, Leroy, Elmont, Lacey, Lakeview, Belmead. Areas Waco Regional Airport. The city of Waco, pretty much along and west of 35 now and north of Highway 6. This storm's moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. We notice new storms are going up around Gatesville. We're going to have to keep an eye on those. No signs of strong low-level... Well, I take that back. We do have a bit of rotation with that storm near Gatesville, but that's also going to be in the rain-cooled air mass behind this first storm. We'll keep an eye on it, but that storm near Gatesville could at least start producing some hail. I'm just taking a look at some data here, because we've got severe weather to deal with tomorrow, too, so I'm just taking a quick glance at that. For what it's worth, we're probably going to see more storms down here pretty much all day. All right, real quick, let's take a look. Actually, before I do that, let me make sure this isn't too radically different. I will just wait for that run to come in. The threat for some severe storms will continue in North Texas, down towards northern central Texas through the afternoon, spreading into northeast Texas as these storms continue moving northeast. At 40 miles an hour. Got no ground reports from this thunderstorm, which is a good thing. We haven't had any confirmed reports of a tornado with this storm in McLennan County. Circulation now 2 to 3 miles west-northwest of Waco Regional Airport, moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. All right, and then again, also, we've got a severe storm up in the metroplex capable of producing quarter-size hail over...
Local storm report from 2 miles northeast of Arlington in Tarrant County, Texas. Hail magnitude estimated 1.75 inches. Reported by public. Additional information, report from Ping, golf ball, 1.75 inches.
Okay, so just got a report of golf ball size hail. That's going to be off Pioneer Parkway near Collins Street. Hail core is already past y'all, though. At storm now, so we switch back over to the high-res radar. Hail core now coming up to DFW Airport, 360 all the way down to Interstate 30, moving northeast at 50 to 60, if that's right. I don't know if it's moving that quickly, but again, it's hailing. Let me clean up some of these storm tracks. Severe thunderstorm now, DFW Airport, especially on the south sides, down 360 to Grand Prairie, about to cross over the President George Bush Turnpike between Interstate 30, 114, moving northeast at 45 to 55 miles an hour. The potential for hail up to the size of golf balls. Places like Coppell, Farmers Branch, Carrollton, Irving, northwest Dallas in the next several minutes. No tornado with that. some strong winds, and again, oh, quarter to golf ball sized hail. My apologies. I got about 2 hours of sleep. 2.5. Let's not undersell it now. All right, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is now located about 2 miles west of Waco Regional Airport, moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles per hour. About to cross over China Springs Road. And I'll put, let me see, where's the, I'll put the temperature on here just so we see where the airport is. Again, I just put the temperature on here. Oh, excuse me, just simply so y'all can see where the airport is. So, again, that's 73 right here. That's the Waco Regional Airport. So this circulation's about 3 miles west of Waco Regional Airport, about to cross over China Spring Road. After that, this is going to continue moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour towards Golson, Elmont, Ross, Lacey, Lakeview. Now, we haven't had any ground reports that we've had a tornado or tornadoes, which is good. We don't want to hear about that. We haven't heard any damage. Still, you got to respect the low-level velocity signature. The potential for winds, 50 to 55 miles an hour, moving away from the radar, about 30 towards. So we're at about 80 mile an hour rotation right now. We've been up as high as about 110 earlier, so we've seen a bit of a downtrend. But still, quite enough to support a tornado. The city of Waco, you have been cleared from the tornado warning polygon, which means if you're in the city of Waco, you're clear to come out. If you are near Waco Regional Airport, stay in shelter. But Waco, this is going to remain well northwest of you. So if you're in the city of Waco, go ahead and continue on with your day. We do note additional storms to your southwest we're going to need to keep an eye on. Lacey, Lakeview, Ross, and the city of West are in a tornado warning. We'd advise no travel on Interstate 35 now between West and Waco. Belmead specifically. We'll go ahead and read this latest warning update. At 12:24 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Lake Waco, 7 miles northwest of Waco, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. This storm will be near west at 12:45 p.m., so in the next 15 minutes. Oh, okay, more caffeine. A bit of water, too. One must remain hydrated. Those of you in the metroplex, storm capable of producing nickel to golf ball size hail, though it looks weaker now, honestly, over DFW International Airport. That hail core is really weakened, though, so that's good news. We'll keep an eye on it. Storms in the metroplex again, the potential for some hail, strong winds, no tornado issues with that at the moment. Okay. All right, we're going to switch radar sites for this. So we're now closer to the Fort Worth radar. Here's a different look. You can see now, here's a look at this storm now north of China Springs Road. Winds moving towards the radar up in Burleson, which is now the closer radar. Winds moving towards the radar at about 55. Winds moving away at about 40. So again, with this, it's actually still showing wind rotation about 100 miles per hour. Which means I need to... So that means those of you in Golson to Ross, Elmont to Leroy, and West, you need to be in a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We're definitely starting to see a uptick again in this low-level velocity signature. Oh. If you're wondering about your areas, if we're not talking about you, that is the good news. All right, let's see. What run is that? The 16 Zulu Her. Not in yet, okay. We'll take a look at the expectations for the rest of the day here soon. Okay, new problem. Might have a problem with a second storm here soon with velocity. We're starting to see increased low-level shear now just northeast of Gatesville with this thunderstorm. So now we're watching two storms with low-level rotation. One now about 2 miles north of Waco Regional Airport, 2 to 3 miles north of Waco Regional Airport, or about 4 miles southwest of Golson, 4 miles east of China Springs, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour towards West Ross Elmont. A second storm now showing a bit of increasing low-level rotation, about 3 miles northeast of Gatesville. Now, this is weak, comparatively, but we need to watch it. So that may be another storm that at some point could become mischievous in the low-level rotation department. Northeast of Gatesville. That storm for now appears to be moving almost along the same path as this first storm, maybe about 3 to 5 miles further north. So again, that may at some point require a tornado warning northeast of Gatesville, and that would once again threaten places like Crawford to Valley Mills. Another storm showing a bit of an interesting reflectivity signature back southwest of Gatesville. But again, a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Sorry. Now, 4 miles northeast of Waco Regional Airport near Golson, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Now, I'll admit, this does not look as impressive in a good way as it did earlier. We're seeing winds moving towards the radar in Fort Worth about 50, winds moving away probably about 20 to 30, so 70 to 80 mile an hour rotational couplet. So we're watching two storms for low-level rotation. If we're not talking about a storm near you, that means we're not worried about it dropping a tornado on you. If we're not talking about the storm near you, that's good. We focus on the worst storms. Yes, some other storms have hail and wind. The storms in Dallas, DFW, have weakened considerably. I'm not really worried about hail there anymore, up above the size of maybe a dime. The hail cores have collapsed in the last 10 minutes. One storm now near Golson, northwestern McLennan County, capable of producing a tornado moving towards Ross west over the next 10 minutes. A second storm starting to show increasing rotation now 4 miles northeast of Gatesville. That storm is moving east-northeast to 30 miles an hour, could be a threat to Valley Mills and Crawford, eventually also northwestern McLennan County. That storm, again, not under a tornado warning right now, but is showing increasing indications of rotation, and we're going to have to watch it carefully over the next several minutes to, well, hour, really. Storms in Arlington up to DFW have weakened considerably with heavy rain. I'm not really worried about it producing hail anymore in DFW. But what I will do So let me turn that off. Let me turn that on. I'm going to let this loop over the last hour just so y'all get an idea of what we're dealing with here. I'm still here. Just looking at data. The rotation near Golson to Ross is intensifying again. And that's with the tornado warning. Again, northern McLennan County. We'd encourage those of you from Elmont to Ross to West to Leroy to move to a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Let's give some folks an all clear, at least from this storm. We note, again, there are new storms developing southwest back towards Gatesville, which could become severe as they move towards these same areas. But for now, those of you in Crawford, you're clear. Woodway, you're clear. China Springs, you're clear. Waco, you're clear. Belmead, you're clear. Lacey Lakeview, you're clear. This circulation will stay to your north. But again, you've got other storms back to your southwest, moving northeast that have the potential to become severe and possibly even tornadic as they move into your area. So be mindful of additional severe weather warnings over the next couple of hours. DFW, the potential for some small hail. The hail threat has really come down recently, which is good. It's in me. It looks like a media station is reporting a tornado.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Hill and McLennan County in Texas.
It's got an unconfirmed report from a media station of a tornado down northeast of China Spring near Golson, which would make sense given the velocity, but again, that so far remains unconfirmed. We have a new tornado warning. This is going to be for portions of northern McLennan and southern Hill counties until 1:15 p.m. Central Time. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 7 miles northwest of North Crest or 7 miles northwest of Lacey Lakeview, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. This possible tornado will be near west at pretty much in the next 5 minutes. This tornado warning does not include the city of Hillsborough, but it does include Bynum, Malone, Hubbard, Penelope, Abbott. This includes 171 from just southeast of Hillsborough all the way down to Hubbard. And I-35, if we have a tornado, it is about to cross I-35 in the next several minutes. Okay, yeah, we're getting pictures now. Okay, so we do have a tornado down near Golson in the last several minutes. We've got a confirmed tornado that has at least briefly touched down. If you were in China Springs to the Waco airport looking northeast, you probably saw it in the last 5 minutes. So again, we now have a confirmed tornado near Golson to Ross. This tornado will move over Interstate 35 between the city of West and Lacey Lakeview in the next several minutes. So we've had at least a brief tornado touchdown now. With this thunderstorm in northern McLennan County. And again, if you're in West and Ross and Leroy, don't go outside looking for the darn thing. Go to shelter. That's the point of me sitting on here all morning with 2 hours of sleep telling you about this thing. I don't do it to get a bunch of views on the social medias. I do it to warn y'all. So please don't go outside looking for it. Just take shelter. We don't want you getting hurt. And we'll see what happens. So we've had at least a brief tornado touchdown now with this thunderstorm approaching Ross and West. This thunderstorm will be crossing over Interstate 35 in the next several minutes as it moves northeast at 35 miles an hour towards Penelope, Mount Calm, and Hubbard. All right, real quick, we're going to turn everything off here. I'm going to look at the high-res rapid refresh model just to give you all an idea what we're going to see the rest of the day. Because we're going to have more storms, and we're going to have more issues than just this one storm. So let me switch the upper third. We'll take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model. We're going to zoom out. In fact, we're just going to go to a statewide view. Let me load the data. Now here's what this model looks like at noon, or right now, pretty much at 1 p.m. You can see it's doing a pretty decent job. It's not perfect, but it's doing well enough that I can at least show you what I think is going to happen. We're going to loop this starting at 2 o'clock, just going all the way through midnight. While that loads, and I actually put a timestamp on here, you can see, yeah, we're going to have more severe storms. Storms in northeast Texas, storms in east Texas, the possibility of more severe storms in southern North Texas and central Texas, at least northern central Texas, through midnight. Because we didn't have that squall line move through last night, that has allowed the environment to remain pretty much pristine for severe storms, meaning the potential for hail up the size of baseballs. Damaging winds, the potential for at least a few tornadoes. The potential, honestly, if we're being realistic, the potential for a strong tornado if we end up with a really intense supercell. So again, this is what the high-res rapid refresh model thinks things are going to look like for the rest of the day. Notice, we're going to have storms going for a while. Even through 10, 11 p.m. possibly. So, with that being said, yeah, we're probably going to be here a while. We'll be keeping an eye on things. All right. And I guess while we're looking at the state view, we can take a look at the radar. Okay, that just got really strong. Those of you in Ross and West, you need to be in a safe place now. No one on the interstate. We don't need folks getting lofted and thrown into a field because you want to drive into a tornado warning. 99% of y'all out there have cell phones. Those get wireless emergency alerts. Do not drive on Interstate 35 now or for the next 10 minutes between Elmont and West. We gave y'all over an hour lead time. We've been doing this. So again, let's go back. Let me tell you why I'm a little more concerned now. We've had a confirmed tornado in the last several minutes. Now we also have a very strong velocity signature. In fact, it's doing what we call range folding on here, where it's not completely showing you the extent of the rotation. We note that storm back towards Crawford we're going to have to watch carefully. It could ride a boundary and also try to become tornadic. All right, let's press that. There we go. All right. So, I'm just going to actually tell you, based off the data I'm looking at, what the couplet is. We have winds moving towards the radar in Burleson now at at least 70 miles an hour. Winds moving away from the radar about 30. We've got probably 110 to 120 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear with this thunderstorm about to cross Interstate 35, literally probably 3 miles south of West. I'm going to actually pull up some traffic cams to see if we can't see anything. And I don't know if we're going to be able to, because, boy, I wish we had, some other states, we actually have camera operators for these traffic cameras that actually will point them at these storms so we can actually get a good view of what's going on and provide y'all with the visual evidence needed. But for some reason, TxDOT just doesn't seem to do that. Suggested it probably 10 years ago and got some pretty big pushback. Road cameras are meant for roads. Well, yeah, but if you have a tornado crossing the road, wouldn't it be good to know about that? Probably, but I'm digressing. All right, back to the how hard it's raining mode. You can see very impressive little low-level reflectivity signature. Good kink there. And a probable tornado now about to cross Interstate 35, 3 miles south of West, near or just north of Ross. So no travel on 35 for until 12:55 p.m. between West and Elmont. I'll say this, if you're in Abbott, this circulation is going to stay to your south. Bynum, it's going to stay to your south. If you're in Penelope, Leroy, Hubbard, Malone, y'all are going to be next on this. You need to take your tornado safety precautions. That'll be the lowest floor. Center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes, grab a helmet. The shoes are if you have to walk on pieces of debris, broken glass, you don't cut up your feet. Helmet is if you have flying debris, it helps protect your head. Back to the how hard it's raining mode. There's that. We'll get a velocity update. There's your velocity update. If we have a tornado down, it is going to be now very near or just east of Interstate 35, passing just a hair south east of West, literally by a mile or two. It's the only tornado warning we have in the state of Texas. real quick, let me do that. Let me do that. All right, there we go. Sorry, just doing a little housekeeping. There are no severe storms in the DFW metroplex. The hail's gone. It's a little less rambunctious than earlier. That's good. That's the Fort Worth radar. Funny thing was, I was actually supposed to make a trip to Texas today. I don't think that's going to happen now. All right. Sorry, I'm leaving y'all just with this velocity image. Let me, you see that storm back near Crawford and Valley Mills? We're going to watch that carefully. Watching this storm near west, the storm's produced at least one tornado in the last while. I don't know why that would be up. All right, let's press that. Let's go back and see if TxDOT's camera has anything near west. Meanwhile, the camera in west just showing traffic proceeding as normal. I too drive into tornadoes. It's called being a storm chaser. But at least if I do it, I intentionally do it. I don't unintentionally do it. But it's just, come on, folks. Just, I mean, you get that alert on your phone that says tornado warning in this area. So you just keep driving blindly into it. Don't do that. Sorry, pet peeve. I know. Quit whining, Davis. You're complaining, Baldy. And real quick, as I switch back to the statewide view. Okay, let me do this. That's up there. We actually have a storm developing near Mason, noted. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. All right. Okay, so let's press this button. I'm gonna switch that back. Here's what we're dealing with the last hour. Notice that storm going up west of Llano near Mason. We're gonna have to watch that. We've got scattered thunderstorms underway. North Texas, portions of, technically, if you want to consider Waco, Central Texas, fine. Far northern Central Texas. These storms moving northeast at 40 miles an hour, an increasing threat of severe weather early this afternoon into the mid-afternoon hours across northeast Texas. The Arklatex, with a continued threat of severe weather in North Texas along this boundary that's set up really pretty much from Gatesville to west. We're probably going to see continue more storms developing on that. In fact, that's probably what this storm back near Llano's setting up on, this northern edge of this cloud line. So we're going to have more storms around Waco this afternoon. Could be severe with hail, damaging winds, maybe some tornado threat. While I'm thinking about it, and I have this loop lane, you gotta say congratulations to the Jason Cooley and the Marisa Cooley on the birth of their daughter. They got to bring home their daughter today. which is why Jason's not out and about chasing, and rightfully so, because I would be literally driving to Texas right now to hit him with a mallet. So, gotta thank him for helping on the back end of things. Meanwhile, all our other storm chasers that are chasing today are way up in Nebraska and northeast Kansas, where there's a pretty sizable tornado risk. Today I could have either chased and given you a live video from the ground or done severe weather coverage. I chose severe weather coverage. Excuse me. Okay, we haven't had any reports over the last several minutes. The only confirmed tornado we've had today was east of China Springs, very near the Waco Regional Airport, probably about a mile or two northwest of the Waco Regional Airport near China Spring Road, and that was back around 12:35 p.m. Since then, we haven't had any confirmed reports of a tornado. The storms in DFW produced quite a bit of hail about 30 minutes ago. They weakened quickly and are dunzo. Just looking over some data. We're getting damage reports out of China Springs. Not sure the extent of that. Thank you to moderator Ryan Sheff for that. So again, we've got some damage from a tornado near China Springs towards Waco Regional Airport. Whether that damage is from the tornado itself or the rear flank downdraft is to be determined. The Weather Service will do a damage survey later on to figure all the specifics out with that. So again, we had a brief tornado near China Springs, near Waco Regional Airport at about 12:35 p.m. that has apparently produced damage. At this point, we don't have any confirmed reports of a tornado in progress, but we still have strong low-level rotation. With this thunderstorm, now east of Interstate 35, strong low-level rotation now 4 miles east of the city of West. To be honest, there's almost two velocity couplets here. Almost seeing, we might have an occlusion process going on. Kind of seeing one here, one here. Does that matter in any way, shape, or form to y'all? Not really, unless we had two tornadoes down for a moment, but again, those of you in Penelope, Malone, and Hubbard need to move to a safe place. If you are in west, along and west of Interstate 35, no, we've actually got a tornado down near Torres. Okay, so I don't know where Torres is, but Okay, so we do have a confirmed tornado down with this now. See how quickly that changed? Okay, so we've got what appears to be a sizable tornado at that down now, east of west, moving towards Penelope. So again, this is a call to action, a confirmed tornado in progress now, 3-4 miles east of west, moving east-northeast at 35 miles an hour towards Penelope and Malone. What appears to be somewhat of a sizable tornado is currently in progress. So again, a tornado is in progress now, 4 miles east of west, moving towards Penelope, Hubbard, and Malone. Take your tornado safety precautions now. That'll be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible for a confirmed tornado in progress, moving towards Penelope and Hubbard. Take your tornado safety precautions. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes. This tornado will be crossing over County Road 32. Hold on. Of course, it stops giving me the road name. Okay, whatever. We'll just ignore that for now. Penelope, Hubbard, Malone. Safe place. Now, a confirmed tornado is in progress with this thunderstorm. 4 miles east of west. Heard, Jason. Thank you. Moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour. This is the only tornado warning in the state of Texas. It's the only storm capable of producing a tornado in the state of Texas for now, which is why that's why we're focusing on it. It is 1 o'clock. I'm Texas Storm Chaser's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. A tornado is underway now, confirmed, 4 miles east of west, moving east-northeast at 35 miles an hour towards Penelope. Actually, it's not Penelope, is it? Penelope, Hubbard, Malone. Safe place. Now, if you're in the city of West, along and west of 35, you are clear. If you're in Abbott, you're clear. You got more storms coming from your southwest, but you're clear from this storm. Strong low-level rotation, a thunderstorm capable and currently confirmed to be producing a tornado. All right, there's the latest scan. What appears to be a tornado debris signature. At least a slight one. Perhaps. Now, again, about 5 miles east of west. And the reason I'm not getting too specific here with the road names, the exactly where it is we're looking from Burleson at the radar. We're looking about 5,000 feet above the ground here. There is tilt involved with the supercell thunderstorms with the wind shear aloft. And given the amount of wind shear we have in place today, the tilt could be, from what we're looking at here down to the surface, maybe a mile or two. So, again, a tornado now probably 4 miles southwest of Penelope, moving towards Hubbard, Penelope. This is now 10 miles west of Hubbard. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I've got TweetDeck up. And thank you to all those who have been tagging us in reports and pictures and videos. Please don't go outside trying to look for things when they're approaching your location, but if they are moving away from you or you're in a safe spot and want to tag us in your pictures and videos, thank you. We're not going to use them on air right now simply because we want to make sure we have our ducks in a row.
Local storm report from 1 NW Mount Vernon in Franklin County, Texas.
What?
Hail magnitude estimated 0.75 inches. Reported by Train Spotter.
Okay. Content management rights. But it does help us to verbally at least confirm for y'all what we have going on. Of course, we've retweeted a few pictures. So again, it's 104. We've got a confirmed tornado now 5 miles east of west, moving towards Penelope, Hubbard, Malone in the next 20 minutes. If you're in west, you're clear. This now is east of you. We have more storms coming up from the southwest. But for now, you're clear. We will have to watch these storms coming up from the southwest for signs of low-level rotation, as they themselves are also showing some of that. But for now, we have one tornado warning. Here's the latest velocity scan. A tornado now with a storm with a history of producing at least 2 tornadoes in the last 30 minutes. We're going to press that. We're going to press that. We're going to press that. Is now about, this says, we're going to say 5 to 6 miles southwest of Penelope. Am I looking from the right radar here? What radar am I on? Okay. Or about 10 to 11 miles west of Hubbard, moving east-northeast at 35 miles an hour. So with that in mind, I'm going to zoom out. We're going to put a time track on this just so I can try to give you all a decent guesstimate on when this will arrive at your location. And again, we've got strong storms further southwest from Clifton to Valley Mills showing a little bit of rotation. Penlop, thank you. Actually, I'm going to... Here, we're going to give this a lot of room just in case. Stop it. I'm going to do northeast at 40. So, on the present track, this would be in Blooming Grove, 125 to 130. M-House, 140. This would be Navarro County. The city of Corsicana, 145 to 150. Rice, 150. And this is with a thunderstorm that has a history of producing multiple tornadoes. One near China Springs at 12:35. One southwest of Penlop in the last 10 minutes. All right, what I'm going to do real quick. Simply because it's of necessity. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, we're going to take a 3-minute break. Streams aren't going anywhere. You're just not going to hear from me for 3 minutes because I got to visit the little boy's room. So give me 3 minutes. I'm going to grab a snack to eat something so we can keep this up, and I'll be right back.
new tornado warning has been issued for Hill and Navarro County in Texas.
All right, my apologies. I had to visit the little boy's room. I'm sure y'all really wanted to know that. All right, we've got a new tornado warning. This is going to be for a... All right, Penlop, whatever. Y'all need to be in a safe place now. Reportedly, a large tornado in progress near Penlop, moving towards Malone Hubbard. So let's get back to it. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We have multiple storms underway. One is producing tornadoes, others small hail, gusty winds, heavy rain. Real quick. So again, let's get back to it. Penelope. All right. Okay, so we've got a confirmed tornado. Apparently,
that would be Penelope. Just so you know.
Thank you, Jason.
In the chat.
Yeah, I bet. Penelope, tornado, large tornado in progress, likely very near Penelope. We do have reports of structures hit. So again, Penelope, large tornado in progress. If would help if I looked at the camera. We'll see if Jason gets that before I do. All right, so again, y'all in Penelope, Hubbard, Malone need to be in a safe place. That tornado warning now extends northeast up Highway 31 into Navarro County, including Dawson, Purdon, Blooming Grove, Perry, whatever. This eventually could pose a direct threat to the city of Corsicana. Again, those of you in Corsicana need to keep a very close eye on this. This is a thunderstorm that has now become a cyclic tornadic supercell with multiple tornadoes produced over the last 45 minutes. A tornado now doing damage in or very near Penelope. So those of you in Malone, between Malone and Hubbard on Highway 171 need to be in a safe place now. Lowest floors, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside. We don't want you trying to go look at this thing. We want you to be in a safe place. Hard sole shoes. If you have to step on debris, you're going to want shoes on. Helmet in case you have flying debris. Again, a confirmed tornado is in progress near Penelope. This is moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour. This tornado has a history of doing damage. This tornado now... Oh, here, you know what? Let's just do this. Likely approach near County Road 3307, County Road 3150, moving towards County Road 3304 and Highway 171. This will pass just southeast of Malone, unless it turns a hook left. If sometimes in these situations where we have tornadic supercells, these storms and their circulations are able to, when they occlude, they take a left turn, in which case Malone would take a direct hit. If not, this is going to pass just southeast of Malone. All right, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Do some housekeeping here. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. A confirmed tornado in progress now at 1:14 p.m. approaching Highway 171, County Road 3304 near Malone, northeast of Penelope. This tornado has caused damage. This storm will cross over 171, thereafter crossing over County Road 3320, northeast of 171. This storm, a direct threat to Navarro County. Those of you between Dawson and Blooming Grove are going to be under the gun. We advise no travel on Highway 31 between Hubbard and Corsicana. No travel on 22 between Mertens and Corsicana. This storm, if it continues on its present course and speed, will be a direct threat to the city of Corsicana and M-House by 1:45 p.m. We note additional thunderstorms showing increasing signs of producing large hail. Lake Whitney State Park, back southwest to Meridian, Clifton, Valley Mills. Those storms moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour, likely to bring hail, heavy rain to portions of Hill County, Hillsborough in the next 45 minutes in the southern DFW Metroplex. At this point, those storms are not showing indications of strong low-level rotation. We'll watch it. We're going to have to watch this storm near Leroy in case it interacts with this thunderstorm that's currently producing a tornado northeast of Penelope, southwest of Malone. At 1:15 p.m., a thunderstorm capable of and with a history of producing damaging tornadoes approaching Highway 171. This tornado will likely pass just southeast of Malone by a mile or two. If it weakens at all, it's going to turn left and hit Malone directly. This should stay just northwest of Hubbard. Hubbard, if you look northwest from town, you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, stay in shelter. Dawson, same thing. This is going to be a close call for Dawson. We advise no travel on Highway 31 between Hubbard and the city of Corsicana as this dangerous thunderstorm with a history of producing tornadoes moves northeast at 30 miles an hour. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to switch back to this. I want to put a time tracker on this. Stand by. We're going to do this. I'm going to give this a wide berth. Now, this is for the tornado. And again, tornadoes do not travel in straight lines. They fluctuate. At this point, this would be in the city of Corsicana at 2 p.m. Corsicana, this is an early shout out to you. The potential for a tornado near the city of Corsicana at 2 p.m. if this thunderstorm continues on its present course and speed. We do not want anyone on Interstate 45 after 1:45 p.m. between, let's just say, the city of Corsicana all the way up to Rice in northern Navarro County. In addition to the city of Corsicana, this is going to pose a direct threat to perhaps Blooming Grove to Purdon, Highway 55, Barry, Dawson, Hubbard, north of Hubbard specifically, southeast of Irene, south of Frost, southeast of Mertens. Now, let's do some folks who are clear. If you're in Penelope, you're clear. This is about to be northeast of 171. If you are in Hubbard, this is probably going to stay to your northwest. If you're in Dawson, this is probably, it's going to be a close call for Dawson. This is going to be moving towards the Corsicana pump station. What lake is that? Jason, if you're listening and have a chance to look, let me know what lake that is, north of Dawson, northeast of Malone. Okay, what else do we have going on? Okay, I'm going to assume... Well, first off, let's do a couple notes. These storms back across portions of Bosque County, northwestern McLennan County, Hill County, moving northeast at about 50 miles an hour. The potential for large hail. All right, good news is it sounds like the tornado that was down did lift before it reached Penelope, based on one storm chaser's report. Thank you for that. Hopefully that means Penelope's okay, but the storm could drop another tornado at any time. We've got heavy rain. Kaufman County, we've got... Here, let's do this. I'll put a loop on this while I talk. We got heavy storms, small hail, gusty winds, heavy rain. Grayson County, Fannin County, down to Collin County, all the way east towards Lamar County, out towards Clarksville. Those storms are behaving. They're not severe right now. They've just got small hail, gusty winds. Navarro Moles Lake. Thank you. I appreciate that. Back southwest, a storm with a history of producing multiple damaging tornadoes now near Malone. Now, something we're going to have to watch for very carefully, and this gets into a bit of mesoscale convective meteorology, is as this new storm near Mount Com moves north into the storm near Malone. one of two things is going to happen. One, that storm scale interference is going to cause the mesocyclone and the parent storm to weaken. Or two, it's actually going to provide a bit of a boost and increase the probability of not only a tornado, but a rather strong tornado. We're going to find that out in the next 20 minutes as this collision occurs. Storm scale interaction. Further southwest, we have thunderstorms producing hail, strong winds, heavy rain across portions of Bosque County, from near Whitney, Laguna Park, Aquila, to near China Springs. No tornado warnings with that, just heavy rain and hail. Now, for what it's worth, back further southwest, we got some storms going up on the dryline cool front. They're behaving for now northeast of Mason to Pontotoc, to west of Cherokee, northwest of Valley Springs. We're going to have to watch for new storms down here this afternoon across parts of central Texas and northern hill country. Those storms could become severe with the threat of hail, localized damaging winds. Can't rule out tornado. But I think for the short term, at least, the highest tornado threat is going to remain with these storms in southern North Texas as they move northeast towards the Arklatex. We'll have to keep an eye out on these storms in northeast Texas as well, just in case they try to start doing some sort of mischievous buffoonery.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Bosque and Hill County in Texas.
So again, we have one storm producing a tornado. That storm is now 2 to 3 miles east of Malone, about to move over Navarro Moles Lake. Once it moves over the lake, it's going to move towards Blooming Grove, at least areas just south of Blooming Grove and Highway 55. After that, Barry, and then by 2 p.m., the city of Corsicana. Meet my little chocolate bar. It's the cutest little thing ever. Sorry. I hadn't actually eaten today, so I needed to eat something. All right, real quick, I'm going to do some housekeeping. Tornado now on the west side of Navarro Moles Lake, 3 miles east of Malone, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. This thunderstorm has a history of producing tornadoes that have caused damage. What I'm looking to do real quick is to find my template thumbnail to update some thumbnails really quick. Welcome to Daveville. I'm an all-in-one person, so sometimes I have to take care of some housekeeping. There we go. Right. Jason, if you're listening, let me know. All right. So again, now we've had that loop played for a minute. Let me kill that storm track.
I'm here, David.
All right, Jason, I made a thumbnail. I'll update the YouTubes real quick, and that report you just put in the chat, is that confirmed? And do we have any other details?
No, I was just kind of recapping what you mentioned in coverage.
Understood. I heard what sounded like a 2-year or 2-day-old baby. All right, that's a strong gate-to-gate couplet. So, Malone, if you are along the southwest of Highway 171, you're clear. Hubbard, you're clear. Penelope, you're clear. You've got more storms coming, and they may be severe, but for now, you're clear. We've got a tornado in progress, probably now on Navarro Mills Lake, now 4 to 5 miles northeast of Malone, moving northeast. After it crosses over the lake, it's going to pass south of Blooming Grove by a few miles towards Barry. And then, honestly, this could pose a direct threat to the city of Corsicana. That was a pitiful arrow. Again, this thunderstorm has a history of producing multiple tornadoes. It could very well have a tornado down right now. This storm is moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. This could pose a direct threat to the city of Corsicana by 2 p.m. on present course and speed, including the potential for a tornado. If you know anyone in Corsicana, I would go ahead and shoot them a text, a message, and make sure they are aware and monitoring the weather with this thunderstorm moving towards their location from the southwest. Sorry, Jason, I'll try not to do that again. You're on the Discord. I can just look over there too whenever I need to. All right, update this. Update that. All right, I'm David Reimer. It's 1:27 p.m. on this, the 26th of April, 2024. A thunderstorm with a history of producing tornadoes and damage now located over northern sections of Navarro Mills Lake, 5 miles east of Malone, 5 miles southeast of Irene, 9 miles southwest of Blooming Grove, 6 miles northwest of Dawson, 18 miles southwest of the city of Corsicana. This thunderstorm moving northeast at 35 miles an hour could pose a direct threat to the city of Corsicana by 2 p.m., with the potential of a tornado, hail, damaging winds. Folks southwest of Corsicana, all the way down Highway 31 and west on Highway 22 to Dawson, to Blooming Grove, to Navarro Mills Lake, you need to move to a safe place. It's going to be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes. Grab a helmet. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Let me do this.
Texas local storm report from 3 miles west of Whitney in Hill County, Texas. Hail magnitude measured 0.75 inches. Reported by public. Additional information, dime, 0.75 inches, hail W of Whitney.
All right. Oh, what is this? Now I'm going to zoom out and take a look at something back west. Now here's something I'm looking at. This severe storm near Aquila starting to take an interesting shape. Now here's something I'm not sure of yet. This first storm that's produced tornadoes from near China Springs to Penelope may have left an outflow boundary, or something of that, which this storm behind it may latch onto. That would increase the tornado threat eventually. But we may also have a rain-cooled air mass, which I'm not sure of yet, which would reduce the threat of a tornado with this storm near Aquila. The reason I mention that is we're starting to see increasing low-level rotation with this storm. We're getting some beam folding too, which is just a way, sometimes the radar looks a little scarier than it is, but we're going to have to watch this storm in case it attempts to develop low-level rotation. If it does, it is going to travel almost over the exact same areas this first storm that has produced tornadoes is on, like a train on the tracks. We're going to have to watch it carefully, so we'll see what happens. This thunderstorm now, with low-level circulation over the northern peninsula of Navarro-Moles Lake, the potential, if not a high likelihood, of a tornado in progress 4 to 5 miles southeast of Irene. This thunderstorm is moving northeast. Oh, it is moving a little more northeast now, isn't it? Here, we'll do this. At 1:30 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over the northern side of Navarro-Moles Lake, 20 miles southwest of Corsicana, moving northeast at 30. This will be near Barry at 1:45. This circulation is starting to move a little more north, as we have a thunderstorm to the south impacting... let me see, what is this doing? Yeah, here's what I'm concerned about. Those of you on Blooming Grove to Barry to south to Perd need to be in a safe place. We don't want any travel west of Corsicana on either Highway 22 or 31. We don't want folks on Highway, what is that, 55? Highway 55 between Blooming Grove and Purdon. Yeah, we are starting to see increasing rotation with this storm near Aquila. And yeah, we're going to have a tornado warning, so give it just a second.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Hill County in Texas.
All right, like I was just talking about, new storm. So this is going to impact areas that just had to deal with the first storm. A new tornado warning that does include the city of Hillsborough, Abbott, Bynum, Malone, Carl's Corner. So now we have 2 storms to deal with, and honestly, we're going to have to watch the storm near Blum, too. A potential tornado now developing near Aquila. This storm moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. I'll just read the warning straight to you. So we have 2 storms, 2 possible tornadoes. At 1:32 p.m., a possible tornado near Aquila Lake, 12 miles southwest of Hillsborough, moving northeast at 30. This is going to be near Hillsborough at 1:45, Bynum at 1:55. This also includes Abbott, Malone, Brandon, and Aquila. This includes Interstate 35, where we want no travel. Okay, Interstate 35. Hey, heads up, you got folks traveling or you're traveling? Don't be on Interstate 35 between mile markers 355, 369. Another way to think about it, don't be on Interstate 35 between west and the 35 WE split north of Hillsborough. storm now showing stronger low-level rotation may produce a tornado at any time. We have what is likely a tornado over the northeast sides of Navarro-Moles Lake, near County Road 3310, County Road 3320 in Navarro County. And this is going to eventually be a direct threat to places like Blooming Grove, Barry, and eventually the city of Corsicana. So again, we have two storms now capable of producing tornadoes in a relatively close proximity. One, Aquila, moving northeast towards Abbott in the city of Hillsborough. Two, about 5 miles east of Irene, moving towards Blooming Grove and Barry, and eventually Corsicana. Both storms are capable of producing tornadoes, which means those of you in Hillsborough, Abbott, Aquila, Bynum, Malone, again, Carl's Corner need to take their tornado safety precautions. That's Northern Hill County. Those of you in Navarro County, from Blooming Grove to Barry, southwest of Corsicana to Purdon, you need to take your tornado safety precautions. That's going to be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes in case you have to step on broken glass or debris. Helmet in case stuff starts flying around. You want to have as much protection as possible for your head. So again, 2 tornado warnings now in southern North Texas. 1, Aquila, moving towards Abbott, Hillsborough, Interstate 35, between West and the 35 WE split, north of Hillsborough. 2nd, moving towards Blooming Grove and Barry, could eventually pose a threat to Interstate 45 in the city of Corsicana. So we want folks to take their tornado safety precautions. Circulation now approaching, is now north of Navarro-Moles Lake. 5 miles southwest of Blooming Grove is intensifying. We're seeing increasing low-level shear. Circulation over Aquila, now east of Aquila, moving towards Abbott and Hillsborough, also intensifying. Both storms capable of producing tornadoes. And again, if we're not talking about a storm near you, that's a good thing. That means you're not about to get hit by a tornado. Other storms could produce large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall in North Texas, Northeast Texas, the Arklatex, all the way back southwest into the hill country. And again, we're going to focus on the most intense storms here. We'll take a larger view here in a minute, but for now, that's the gist. If you want to know what's going on near you, download the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, interactive weather radar, storm chasing video, live severe weather coverage, and more. We might have a tornado debris signature. We do. All right. Okay. It looks like we have a tornado debris signature just northeast of Navarro-Moles Lake. That is an indication from the radar that we have more than just raindrops or hailstones. We've got debris. Could be tree branches, parts of houses. That's been lofted by a tornado now just northeast of Navarro-Moles Lake on the northern side of the lake. So again, a confirmed tornado now, 6 to 7 miles south-southwest of Blooming Grove, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. This storm will approach Blooming Grove, Barry, east towards Corsicana, maybe M House, in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Take your tornado safety precautions now. A confirmed tornado now, 6 to 7 miles south of Blooming Grove, with a tornado debris signature. Oh yeah, that's tornado debris. Signature has gotten worse. So again, this is the radar detecting what could be pieces of buildings, trees, vegetation that has been lofted by a tornado to at least 3,900 feet. Thus, we have a tornado in progress now. This is a confirmed dangerous tornado in progress, doing damage, approaching. Here, I'm going to put some County Road 3091 in Navarro County, County Road 4010 in Navarro County, County Road 4190, and again, this is a confirmed tornado doing damage, lofting debris at least 4,000 feet into the air. Now, with a confirmed tornado debris signature, that little blue donut, that's tornado debris being lofted. A confirmed tornado was located near Navarro Mills Lake, 16 miles west of Corsicana, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. This tornado will approach Dresden shortly. This tornado has been confirmed by emergency management and by a tornado debris signature on radar. So again, this is a confirmed tornado doing damage that will approach Dresden shortly in Navarro County. Take your tornado safety precautions now if you are in Blooming Grove, south of Blooming Grove to Highway 31 northeast of Dawson, up to Barry. Eventually, this is going to pose a threat to areas near or west of Corsicana to M House. Again, this is a confirmed tornado doing damage approaching Dresden, just northeast of Navarro Mills Lake. Further southwest, a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now 3 miles east of Aquila. This storm is approaching Interstate 35 near Abbott, about 4 miles west of Interstate 35 in Abbott, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So again, we have two storms capable of producing tornadoes. One, we have a tornado down now, approaching Dresden, just northeast of Navarro Mills Lake, 5 to 6 miles south of Blooming Grove in Navarro County. 2, storm capable of producing a tornado 3 miles east of Aquila, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour towards south sides of Hillsboro in Abbott. That could produce a tornado at any point. Both of these storms are dangerous. We've got hail, Johnson County, southern Johnson County, approaching Grandview, Itasca. Oh, boy. That's not good. I don't like that. Here, when I tell you I don't like that, let me show you. 1, we've got a very strong hail signature on the storm near Hillsboro. 2, we've got what we call a wrapping hook signature now with this thunderstorm south of Hillsboro. This is where the rear flank downdraft on this storm is starting to swing around, increasing the potential we have a tornado shortly. Those of you in Abbott, you really need to be in a safe place, all right? We don't want anyone on 35 around Abbott. This should stay just north of west. This storm could put a tornado down at any time. The other storm we're talking about up here in portions of Navarro County near Dresden, northeast of Navarro Mills Lake, south of Blooming Grove, that storm's produced at least 3 to 4 tornadoes already, and we've got a tornado debris signature indicating we have a damaging tornado now. So again, both these storms could put down tornadoes. Both these storms could put down strong tornadoes. That means EF2+ in the environment they're in. So again, this is a confirmed tornado with a tornado debris signature now near Dresden, northeast of Navarro Mills Lake in Navarro County. Let me go ahead. We'll put a track, or a mile marker distance. This is 7 to 8 miles south of Blooming Grove, moving northeast at 30 to 35 miles an hour. We're going to have a new tornado warning soon for portions of Navarro County. That would include Barry, M House, probably the city of Corsicana. I'm hopeful based on the northeastward trek of this is going to stay west of Corsicana. This is going to be dangerously close to Barry, M House, west and north sides of the city of Corsicana in the next 20 minutes. Those of you in Dresden need to be in a safe place now. Southwest. A possible tornado approaching Abbott, halfway between Aquila and Abbott. This will cross over Interstate 35 in the next 15 minutes. This storm also capable of producing golf ball-sized hail in the city of Hillsboro. Hillsboro, you're going to get in on the hail. The tornado, if we get one, is going to stay south of town in all likelihood. Nevertheless, those of you in Hillsboro are in a tornado warning, and you need to respect that polygon. Here, let's, real quick, let me zoom out. We're going to take a statewide view. Eventually, and then I'll verbally tell you what we expect the rest of the day. I'm not going to be able to take the time now to show you a simulation of that on the weather radar, but I can at least show you what's going on now, let y'all look at that, and give you a verbal description of what we expect. Let me turn some of these cities off so y'all can actually see what's going on here. Abbott, you need to be in a safe place. Folks south of Blooming Grove to near Dresden on Highway 55. Tornado down, doing damage, about to hit 55 a few miles south of Blooming Grove. You need to be in a safe place. Okay, so here's what we have going on right now. We got scattered showers and storms from near Bonham to Clarksville on 82, northeast Texas. Small hail, gusty winds, lightning, heavy rain. Nothing severe with that right now. We got some rain and a couple storms extending back down to Interstate 20 in eastern North Texas. Nothing severe with that right now. We got a storm going up over DFW Airport, I guess. We've got storms capable of producing hail from southern Johnson County down to Hill County to Hillsborough. Golf ball size hail possible. Possible tornado approaching Abbott, Interstate 35 south of Hillsborough. A confirmed tornado doing damage 4 to 5 miles south of Blooming Grove, approaching Highway 55. Moving towards Barry and Corsicana. A storm capable of producing a tornado at any time now approaching Abbott. Could be a direct threat to the city of Abbott. North of west, south of Hillsborough. Tornado will stay south of Hillsborough, but Hillsborough, you're probably getting hail. The storm will then approach Highway, what is that? Highway 171 from Bynum to Malone.
Texas local storm report from 7 miles south-southeast of Frost in Navarro County, Texas. Tornado. Reported by emergency manager. Additional information, tornado reported near FM 477, near Brushy Prairie in western Navarro, Colorado
County. Okay, so we've got a possible tornado approaching Abbott, a confirmed tornado approaching Dresden in Navarro County. Both these storms capable of producing tornadoes, hail, damaging winds. We still have a tornado debris signature showing up with this thunderstorm, indicating a tornado remains down. This tornado's been down over 10 minutes now, it looks like. South of Blooming Grove by about 4 to 5 miles, moving northeast towards Barry on Highway 22. Eventually, posing a threat to areas just west of Corsicana to M House. All right, here's what we're going to do. I need to share this link, share this link, share this link. So again, we're going to talk about the most threatening storms here. I realize we got other storms going on with some hail, some wind, but to be perfectly blunt with you, unless you're about to get hit by a tornado, be happy I'm not talking about you. If I'm talking about you, you got problems, and you need to take action to protect your life. And those of you who have followed us for a while know I will be jovial, I'll make jokes, I'll be ha-ha, hee-hee when the situation warrants, and then when we need to be serious, we'll be serious. You can tell I'm being serious. All right, where need the button? Right, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Coming up to 1:48 on this, the 26th of April, 2024, covering a severe weather event and, frankly, approaching a tornado outbreak across portions of southern North Texas, with the potential, if not continued probability of severe weather, including the threat of tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, and hail, with these thunderstorms across southern North Texas, perhaps continuing for the next several hours with additional storms developing and perhaps spreading into parts of the Arklatex over the next several hours. All right, here we go. And again, if you're wanting to know what's going on in your neck of the woods today and tonight, we do have a detailed weather forecast posted from this morning. Over on the Texas Storm Chasers website, the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel, the Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. And when time allows, we'll talk about the forecast, but we need to get back to talking about what we have going on. A tornado now probably near or just east of Highway 55, about 2 to 3 miles southeast of Blooming Grove, moving northeast towards Barry. From Dresden to Barry, this is going to pose a direct threat to you. If you know of the community of Barry, east of Blooming Grove on Highway 22, west of Corsicana, this tornado probably going to cross about 7 to 8 miles west of Corsicana on Highway 22, making a beeline for M House. This tornado is located about 7 miles southwest of you. Further southwest, a thunderstorm capable of producing hail in the city of Hillsborough. The potential for a tornado near the city of Abbott on Interstate 35. Moving northeast at 30 miles an hour towards Bynum and Malone from Abbott. Now, we haven't had any ground reports from this storm yet. This is a relatively new tornado warning. Jason, I pinned the YouTube link for coverage on Twitter. Remind me after the fact to go back and pin the geographical post again if you're listening. Tech stock cameras. And here, while I do this, let me switch back. What do we got? Tornado debris signature with that Navarro County storm is gone. That's the good news, meaning the radar's not detecting debris. But keep in mind, we're looking about 3,800 feet above the ground with that storm, meaning it would take somewhat of a decent tornado, strength-wise, to loft debris that high. We could still have a weaker, brief tornado in progress. And this storm's produced probably 4 or 5 tornadoes at this point. It's 12:30, so... clearly, we have a cyclic tornadic supercell. When that's going to stop, nobody knows, but it's going to keep on going for a while yet. Understood, Jason. I'll take a quick look. I'm not going to put it on this stream simply because, well, he's 3 states away. That was a good shot. Jason, let me know if you need me to monitor that as well. I can pull it up and put it on a monitor. Okay, so here's what we got going on. Let's look out. We got scattered showers and storms across northeast Texas, the Arklatex, eastern North Texas. Those storms are behaving for now. We've got heavy rain, small hail, gusty winds. We're going to keep an eye on it, though. The threat for some severe weather, including perhaps a few tornadoes spreading into northeast Texas with these storms further southwest. We have a new tornado warning. Stand by.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Ellis and Navarro County in Texas.
All right, let's talk about who's in and who's out. There's going to be a new tornado warning for northern Navarro, southern Ellis County until 2:30 p.m. At 1:52 p.m., a confirmed tornado is located near Barry or 10 miles west of Corsicana, moving northeast at 30. So this storm's moving further northeast than east now, which will spread this threat into Ellis County. Specifically, this tornado warning does not include the city of Corsicana. If you are west of Corsicana, though, or north of Corsicana, you're under the gun. Well, I said the G word. That's not good. M House, Rice, Alma, Ennis. You are in this tornado warning polygon, which means you need to take action. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And real quick, real quick. Let me see if this is working. Okay, it's not. I just wanted to see. One of our chasers chasing up in Nebraska is apparently about to have a tornado. I just wanted to see if that was ingesting on this stream or not, but frankly, I don't think anyone cares about Nebraska right now on this stream, which is perfectly understandable. Alright, so again, that's this new tornado warning. Notice further southwest, we have a tornado warning that continues for Malone, Abbott, Bynum, hail threat across portions of Hillsborough. Alright, radar back on. So again, strong rotation. Oh, Boise, right over Barry. And again, if you're in Barry, you better be in a safe place. We've only been warning you now for 30 minutes. M-House, Rice, Alma, you're going to be under the gun next. Circulation definitely tracking further northeast. I think that storm interaction from the south has helped push this further northeast. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just do that. I don't want to make a storm track that small. These things fluctuate. Just do this. And again, they got this moving northeast at 30. Now, I want to be... Now, let's redraw it. Stand by. There we go. Now, this is estimated times and estimated times only. Alma, 220. Rice, 215. If this keeps up, this is going to be near Kemp in Kaufman County at 250, Grays Prairie, 245, approaching Oak Grove and the south sides of south sides of Kaufman shortly before 3 p.m. if the storm's still going. Possible tornado very near Barry. Boy, Barry, you need to be in a safe place now. Near Barry now, approaching M-House in the next 5 minutes. Again, Barry, you need to be in a safe place now. This thing's got more attitude than an angry politician. Woo! That's not good. We got winds moving towards the radar, 80 miles an hour. Winds moving away, probably about, I'm going to say 30. Come on. About 30. So we have 110 to 115 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear. This thing's tighter than a tick's behind. Right now, when the couplet in the rotation becomes so concise where it's bright red against bright blue, definitely have concern. And we have a storm scale merger or ingest going on, which has probably helped kickstart this circulation again. I talked earlier about how when we have storm mergers or storms interacting with each other, one of two things can happen. One, it'll weaken the storm, weaken the circulation, or two, it can act as a battery and actually kickstart it and start the tornado genesis process. If this is correct, and this velocity ends up verifying, this thing has started quite a bit of a circulation, and we've got a problem. We're going to find out quickly. I wouldn't be shocked in the next few minutes if this is a legitimate couplet that we have a tornado debris signature develop. But also, fortunately, Navarro County Emergency Management, they are absolutely spectacular at sharing their reports in what's called NWS Chat, which we had access to for about 12 years, up until late last year when they switched to a new platform and were like, oh, you're just a YouTuber, you're a storm chaser, you don't matter enough to be in here. Yeah, it's not like we don't serve over 1.5 million folks. I mean, hey, guess what? We probably have more reach than most TV stations down here. Sorry, I ranted, we're done. All right, again, the possible tornado now near or just north of Barry, approaching M-House in the next few minutes, 3 miles southwest of M-House. Back southwest, strong couplet now, east of Interstate 35. This could be a developing tornado. This would be 2 miles northeast of Abbott, 3 to 4 miles southwest of Bynum, or 8 miles west of Malone, moving northeast at 30. Let me see if I can put some tracks back on here. Give me just a second. And yeah, we just got that new radar scan. We'll take a look in just a moment. Okay, what is going on here? Why are we not giving me storm tracks? That's very interesting. Okay, close enough. Boy, that is drawn. Okay, let's do that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. All right, so we continue near Barry, just north of Barry now. No tornado debris signature, but man, that is the strongest rotation we've seen today by far. Winds moving towards the radar in Fort Worth, 90 miles an hour. Winds moving away at 50. Do some math. We're at, 130 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear, very tight. In all likelihood, we have a tornado down now, 1 to 2 miles north of Barry, moving towards M House. This could be a strong tornado that is down as well. So again, a potentially strong tornado now 2 miles north of Barry, moving away from Barry, moving away from Highway 22, moving northeast towards the M House, Alma, Rice. We advise no travel on Interstate 45 between Corsicana and Ennis for the next 30 minutes at least, as this dangerous storm continues to move north-northeast. All right, we've got an update, a mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's read that. A cluster of supercells, some tornadic, are ongoing just north and northeast of Waco. These cells are on the north side of a weak surface, theta E gradient, with southwest winds just off the surface, aiding advection inflow into the storm region. Low-level wind shear, 1 kilometer storm relative helicity over 200 meters squared, which is quite high, along with the moist, unstable air mass, will continue to favor tornadoes within the supercells. The threat may persist downstream through late afternoon, given increased heating across eastern Texas. Additional cells may reform ahead of the dry line as well, currently west of the ongoing supercells. Low-level wind shear is weaker down here, but will still favor large hail and damaging winds. Okay, so again, let me show you real quick. Let me show you what we're expecting the rest of the day. We're going to make this real quick since we have tornadoes ongoing, but at least for those of you wondering, we can look real quick, and then when folks join 30 seconds after I talk about it and ask, nope, we can't. We need to go back to this. We got tornado debris now. Sorry, we're going to have to do that again when we have a minute. All right, we've got a confirmed tornado. Now, here's what we're going to do. We have a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. This is a particularly dangerous situation. A large, extremely dangerous, potentially significant tornado now 2 miles west of M House. We have tornado debris being lofted several thousand feet in the air. We have a large, extremely dangerous tornado. In all likelihood, this is a strong tornado, EF2+, moving northeast. Those of you in Alma, Rice, M House, northern Navarro, southern Ellis counties need to be in a safe place now. This is a particularly dangerous situation with a large and extremely dangerous tornado doing damage underway now. This tornado is 2 miles north of Barry. This tornado is 2 miles southwest of M House. A large, extremely dangerous tornado is now underway. We'll switch back over to the which way the wind's blowing mode. And again, the range folding. But I'll just tell you now, based off the data I have. We've got about 90 mile an hour moving towards the radar. We've got about 40 mile an hour moving away. We've got a tornado debris signature. And based off that, there's a 69% chance this is an EF1+ tornado, a 31% chance this is a EF2+ tornado. Based on the tornado debris signature, the very strong velocity couplet, there is a high probability we do indeed have a significant tornado in progress. A large, extremely dangerous tornado now underway, 2 miles west of M House, 3 miles northeast of Barry, moving northeast towards Alma, Rice, Interstate 45, the south sides of Ennis, southeastern Ellis County, northern Navarro County. Back further southwest, Hillsborough, you've got hail, you're clear from a tornado threat with these storms. We have a possible tornado also showing strong low-level circulation now, not to the extent as farther northeast, but still what could be a tornado in progress southwest of Bynum. This tornado, if down, is 2 miles south-southwest of Bynum, approaching Highway 171. This tornado would probably cross 171 about 2 miles southeast of Bynum. So again, we have a possible tornado underway 2 miles south of Bynum. This is going to stay southeast of Hillsborough. If you're in Hillsborough, you're clear. If you're in Abbott, you're clear. If you're in Malone, this is going to stay to your northwest, but stay in your safe place. No travel on 171 southeast of Hillsborough to Malone. We have what is now a confirmed tornado with this thunderstorm. Okay, so we got 2 confirmed tornadoes. We have a large and extremely dangerous tornado now down. That could be a strong tornado 2 miles west of M House. We have a confirmed tornado down in Hills County now near County Road 3106 moving towards FM 1242. So we have 2 tornadoes down now. Confirmed tornado now about 2 to 3 miles south-southeast of Bynum moving northeast. Confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado down near M House. Oh, that's not good. We got a huge tornado debris signature now. This is probably a damaging tornado capable of causing direct threat to life. Now, very near M House, or just west of M House. This storm moving northeast towards Rice Ennis. Large, extremely dangerous, strong tornado underway with a very significant tornado debris signature. The tornado debris signature extends upwards of 6,000 feet at least. So again, folks, this thing's throwing debris 6, 7, 8,000 feet into the air. We have a large destructive tornado underway with a massive tornado debris signature. What is likely a large and extremely dangerous tornado now near M House. This is in northwestern Navarro County. Corsicana, this is not going to be an issue for you. So again, this is a confirmed, probably large and extremely dangerous tornado, 8 to 9 miles northwest of Corsicana, a mile west of M House. Now, 4 miles north of Barry. This tornado is moving away from Highway 22. Barry, you're clear. Blooming Grove, you're clear. This tornado is now 8 miles southwest of Alma. This tornado is 7 miles southwest of Rice. We advise no travel on Interstate 45 between mile markers. Let's just do this. No travel on 45 between Ennis and Corsicana. A large, destructive tornado is in progress now north of Barry near M House. This tornado is lofting debris 8,000 feet in the air. In all likelihood, we're dealing with an EF2 plus tornado that is capable of obliterating mobile homes, causing major damage to most buildings. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out. You're better off trying to get around or away from this thing to being in a mobile home. Get in a ditch. Lowest floor and site-built structures, lowest floor, center room, away from windows. You need to be in a safe place or you are risking your life. If you are north of Barry, northwest of Corsicana, near M House, moving up towards Alma and Rice. Hopefully this thing will weaken here pretty soon, and we'll be able to tone down our verbiage, but as it stands now, we've had what is likely a significant destructive tornado underway from just northeast of Barry to west of M House. Now, the good news is we are weakening the circulation. There is still a tornado there, I have no doubt, but it's weakening, which means hopefully we're about to occlude. Further southwest, a storm with a history of producing a tornado in the last several minutes south of Bynum, now likely east of Highway 171, moving towards Irene. Eventually, that'll require a tornado warning for portions of northwestern Navarro County, including areas that just got hit by a significant tornado. So again, we've had a significant tornado from just north of Barry to west of M House. Tornado debris has been lofted. Let's see, I'm just going to look real quick. Better not be, right? It might be. Boy. Yeah, I think it is. We've had tornado debris lofted 12,000 feet, folks. That is a EF2, EF3 type tornado that's capable of lofting debris 12,000 feet in the air with the velocity couplet we had. We've got major problems, I'm afraid, and major damage from just north of Barry to west of M House. Depending on what all has been hit out here. It's a rural area, but there are homes. And again, this is probably a significant to intense tornado that we've just had occur. So we could have big problems out here. Now, as we start to see the circulation weaken, we're going to have to see if we get a new tornado out of this. This is tornado 5 or 6 from this storm, and this is easily the strongest one we've dealt with so far. We're going to have to see what happens next. Those of you in Alma and Rice, you better get your butts to shelter. Do not mess with this thing. This thing's got more attitude than a politician All right, let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Missing anything. We have no other severe weather warnings in the state of Texas right now. We got showers, we got storms, we've got all sorts of nonsense going on, but nothing in the spinny doom damaging wind hail department, at least outside of these two storms with histories of producing tornadoes. Okay, real quick, before I get interrupted again, let me now try to show y'all what we think is going to happen the rest of the day. So real quick, before I get interrupted again, I'm going to do this real quick. Folks that join like 30 seconds after I do it are going to ask, what about the fifth blade of grass in my backyard? At least if I show this, y'all in the chat who are here see it can help answer the others' questions. I don't blame people who ask that. I mean, people are coming and going all the time in the digital media age, but clearly I can't just be showing what we expect for the rest of the day every 5 seconds. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to look at the high-res rapid refresh model. We're going to look at 2 p.m. I just want to see how it's doing. It's doing okay. I mean, it's not completely accurate, but at least gives an idea of thunderstorm coverage for the rest of the day. So I'm just going to load this, let it play out. It'll give an idea of how long we're going to be dealing with storms. Let me turn on the model timeline here. And again, you can see this thing has storms going across portions of southern North Texas through 11 p.m. We're going to have flooding issues between Dallas and Waco later if this keeps up with multiple supercells. You can see severe weather threat continues into early this evening. Northern Central Texas, southern North Texas, clearing out by midnight. But again, yeah. So as we continue on through the afternoon, at least in southern North Texas, we're going to see a weakening of low-level winds. They're not going to completely dissipate, so some tornado threat will exist, but hopefully we'll see more of a transition to large hail versus just, you know, tornadic stuff we're dealing with now. Okay, let's get back to the radar. We'll show a statewide view. Okay, so that's what's going on. You can see we've got 2 severe storms. We got other storms producing small hail, gusty winds, heavy rain. Back to the high-res radar. 2 storms capable and with histories of producing tornadoes. We just had a significant tornado between Barry and Emhouse in northern Navarro County. That storm is looking less organized for now, but I can tell you what's happening is the occlusion process. This tornado's still down north of Emhouse, starting to dissipate. This is a new circulation developing. So both of these moving towards Alma and Rice. Eventually this new circulation will take over, may become tornadic. Now, we're back down to base level tornado warning. Rotation has weakened. The tornado debris signature is gone. Tornado is probably lifted for now. I don't think we're going to hear good things about what that tornado did between Barry and Emhouse, but for now, we're back down to keeping an eye on things. All right, so again, 2 storms capable of producing tornadoes. 1 circulation now 4 miles southwest of Alma. 4 miles south-southwest of Rice, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Both communities need to be in a safe place. A possible tornado approaching Irene. This is going to be passing about 4 miles north of Malone. So really, again, this is almost the same track as the other storm, except this one seems to be moving more to the east. This one is going to pose a direct threat to Corsicana at this rate. So let me zoom out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And I'm just going to switch back over to, yeah, we'll just stick to velocity. You can tell on the how hard it's raining mode, we're transitioning to more of a high precipitation mode. This potential tornado seems to be moving like this. This moving northeast. Now, depending on what happens, this storm over Rice may actually start to weaken even further if it's being cut off by the storm further south, which may be what's happening. But again, a possible tornado remains evident 3 miles north of M House, 4 miles southwest of Alma, 4 miles south-southwest of Rice, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. We've got a storm with no tornado warning on it now. We'll see if they put a new warning out. If not, that's gone. But an area of rotation at least. Now approaching Irene, moving towards essentially Blooming Grove, Berry, and Corsicana over the next 30 to 45 minutes. Now, we'll have to see. I really wouldn't be shocked if they put a new tornado warning on this, but we're also seeing a bit of a transition to a messier mode over the last several minutes. Remember earlier I said one of two things can happen when you have storm scale interactions. Storms will weaken, or it'll help jumpstart the tornado genesis process. Now, let's take a look at just the last several minutes, and I really do think they're going to have to put a new tornado warning out for Irene. Okay, here we go. Here, I'm just going to loop this over the last hour. You can see it. We've kind of switched to a messier storm mode. We've got a lot of storms over the same areas across portions of southern North Texas / northern central Texas. Circulation's starting to strengthen again. Okay, that didn't dissipate. That's not good. Alma and Rice, you need to be in a safe place. That tornado's still down, it looks like. The handoff didn't actually occur. That doesn't happen too often. Usually on higher end threat days, we see something like that. There may actually be 2 tornadoes right now approaching Alma and Rice. One possible tornado now just southwest of Rice by 2 miles. A possible tornado now 3 miles south of Alma, both about to cross Interstate 45 in the next several minutes. And again, even with a messier storm mode, we're still dealing with low-level circulation. So apparently, that's what I get for taking the time to explain some random meteorological mumbo-jumbo. Let's get back to it. Let me show you what we're looking at. 2 circulations here. These are 2 possible tornadoes. One, this thing was a significant tornado west of M House earlier. It still looks like it may be down. 2, like that, like that. Both a direct threat to Alma and Rice. No one should be on Interstate 45 right now. Southeast of Ennis, northwest of Corsicana. Ennis, this is not going to be an issue for you. These are going to stay southeast of Ennis. There's a circulation between Mertens and Irene. Moving into western Navarro County, borderline problematic. It's close to probably needing a tornado warning, but we don't have one now. I'm trying to get a tech stock camera from I-45. I don't know if the cameras are up. They might not be. No. Cameras southeast of Ennis are down. Okay, so might have a tornado debris signature again. Just southwest of Alma. Yeah, we got a problem. Rice, you need to be in a safe place. We have a possible tornado about to move into Rice, and we have a tornado down. Yeah, we still got a tornado down just southwest of Alma. With that circulation, we have a tornado trying to develop right now right over Rice. Both moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Y'all need to be in a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Okay, so we have one tornado warning right now. This is Ellis, Navarro counties. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see. 2 rain-wrapped tornadoes. One approaching Rice, one approaching Alma. Both wrapped in rain. Don't bother trying to go out and see them. Moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. We have a little tornado debris signature about 2 to 3 miles southwest of Alma, indicative that we've had the tornado at least continue on from near Berry and M House earlier. We've got a strong low-level circulation, the new circulation developing near Rice. That could put a tornado down at any point. Hopefully it doesn't do it right in the middle of Rice. Hopefully we don't have tornadoes about to cross Interstate 45. That would be reminiscent of the October 10th, I believe. Was that October 10th, 2010? No, October 24th, 2010 was the Rice tornado, the tornado that hit the high school there and then crossed the interstate, lofting debris everywhere. Storm Chaser Shane Adams got some pretty amazing video of that. But again, tornado about to cross Interstate 45 near Rice. Tornado probably about a mile or two southwest of Alma. We're going to get an updated scan here in just a second. And again, both are wrapped in heavy rain. And again, there's no other warnings right now, which is why we're focusing solely on this. You can see we've got an updated scan coming in now. Oops. I broke it. My bad. Okay. There still might be a little tornado debris signature, but it's not super strong. Come on, Velocity. Give me an updated scan. I broke the radar. Oh, that's even better. Oh, boy, Rice, you guys are... Okay, so that tornado that was southwest of Alma, that circulation's finally dissipated. It is handed off to what could be a new tornado now developing right over Rice and Interstate 45 near the high school that got hit back on October 24, 2010. This is going to follow a similar path moving northeast. This could eventually require a new tornado warning for portions of southeastern Ellis, far northeastern Navarro, and potentially Kaufman counties. As this storm moves northeast in a hurry.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for San Saba County in Texas.
Okay, that's going to be a hail threat. That's not a tornado threat. We'll take a quick look. Just to see the hail core, but again, this is not a tornado issue. This is a hailer. South of San Saba, north of Llano, these storms down here in the hill country, some could produce hail. All right. Up here, new tornado developing near Rice. That'll be moving northeast towards eventually Gray's Prairie here. We'll just put a storm track on it based on the current trek. They've got this moving northeast at 30. Come on. Would help if I was using the right tool, to be honest with you. So again, current trajectory, this would be near Gray's Prairie, 255 to 3, Oak Grove, 305, Kaufman, 310 to 315, if this keeps on its present track. And that would be a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now, probably just northeast of Rice. We do note this storm back east of Mertens is showing increasing low-level rotation, and this may need a tornado warning at some point. The Weather Service in Fort Worth is keeping a close eye on it. That be generally moving. Let me check. Yeah, it's actually turning more north as well, so we'll keep an eye on it. Whoops, the daisy. So again, possible tornado now located northeast of Rice. For what? Oh yeah, let's do this. M House, you're clear. Let me be abundantly clear when I say you're clear from storm number 1. If this storm back near Mertens goes tornadic, y'all are going to be in line for a second possible tornadic storm. So Blooming Grove, Frost, M House, remain on guard for the storm coming up from your southwest. But for now, the first tornadic storm is gone. Second possible tornadic storm, we're going to have to watch carefully. Storm currently over Rice up to Alma, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. The potential for a tornado now, it looks less impressive than it did, which is good. That would be about 2 miles northeast of Rice, probably now just east of Interstate 45. Storm about 3 miles southeast of Alma, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. All right, real quick. So again, that is what we have going on right now. Really quick, I'm going to take a look at this. I didn't mean to hit that. Here's just a look at what we dealt with over the last hour. Here, let's do it with satellite. Okay, real quick. All right, so the Rice circulation is looking weaker for now. A lot of storm scale interference with that. You can see it's kind of turned into a blob. And that's the only tornado warning for now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning back between San Saba and Llano. All right, so with that being said, it's time for another visit to the little boy's room. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be back in, let's say, between around 2:33, 4 to 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
Dallas, Henderson, and Kaufman County in Texas.
All right. We do have a new tornado warning. I'll get back to it. It's going to be a tornado warning for far southeastern Ellis, far northwestern portions of Henderson and southern Kaufman counties until 2:30 p.m. That's not right. My apologies. That's right. Until 3:15 p.m. All right, let's just read the warning. What is that? I don't like that thing near Frost. I'll tell you that now. I'll say this real quick. There's no warning down here between Mertens and Blooming Grove. But if this storm isn't elevated behind rain-cooled air, there very well may be a spin-up trying to occur near Frost. If that's the case, don't be shocked if we get a new tornado warning from the Weather Service in Fort Worth for that in a minute. Otherwise, we have a possible tornado with a low-level circulation that's looking weaker, but still, at least in its wind-down phase, remains capable of producing a spin-up tornado. This is going to be about, let's say, 6 miles north of Rice, 5 miles northeast of Alma, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. This tornado warning includes Rosser, areas southwest of Gray's Prairie. The Weather Service in Fort Worth has purposely, and I think intelligently, not created a longer-term, longer-duration warning because they think the circulation, this storm, are winding down thanks to storm scale interference from other storms, and I think they're right. So, this storm will remain capable of producing a spin-up tornado over the next few minutes, northeast of Rice and Alma to south of Rosser, but the circulation itself is weakening pretty quickly here. An area of strong wind still indicated, but notice we no longer have any outbound returns. The reds and greens touching versus what we had down here a minute ago, which itself is also dissipated. So again, good news is this circulation continues to really weaken quickly, northeast of Alma and Rice. I think we're about done with this, which, if we're lucky, and we don't have any emergence of other circulations, we might be done with this pretty soon with the spinny doom issues. For a while, at least. We're not completely done. We've got a tornado watch for northeast Texas. We're going to have more storms developing across southern North Texas through the afternoon with a threat for some hail, damaging winds, a non-zero tornado threat, but we might, maybe, possibly, be starting to at least see a slow decrease in the tornado threat as our low-level wind fields weaken, which would be excelente. So here, let me play this back on loop. See, just over the last few hours, what we've been dealing with. That circulation in far southwestern Kaufman County. Well, let's do this. Alma, you're clear. Rice, you're clear. Kaufman, I don't think you're going to have an issue. And the circulation southwest of south of Rosser and Grays Prairie continues to slowly weaken. Hopefully, meaning if it doesn't re-intensify, we may be over the hill in terms of problematic tornadic behavior for at least now. Now, we will continue to be dealing with isolated to scattered storms through the remainder of the afternoon, even into the early evening across southern portions of North Texas, into northern central Texas. The potential for some of these storms to produce large hail up to the size of baseballs, damaging straight line winds, heavy rainfall. And the potential for a isolated tornado or two. For what it's worth, you want to watch some storm chasing video. A lot of our chasers today are actually chasing tornadoes in Nebraska. They've actually seen a few tornadoes already, including some big ones. You can watch their live video on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel. This morning, early afternoon activity in Texas really wasn't a possibility, it seemed, until really early this morning. I mentioned in my morning Texas Weather Roundup is a possibility, is like a 20% chance. Well, clearly it happened. But our low-level wind fields are going to be weakening as we continue through the afternoon. They're not going to completely weaken, but they're going to at least help reduce the overall probability of tornadoes down to back to the low category versus what I'd say was the medium category. Storms clearly have shown a decrease in organization recently. You can see we kind of got a broken line now with some heavy rain, the potential for gusty winds, small hail, but our low-level circulations have really weakened. The only tornado warning we have left is for a storm now south of Rosser, and that circulation, to be completely honest with you, is pretty much gone. It's continued to decrease. I mean, here you go. It's, yeah, we got some straight line wind. That's not a tornadic looking signature. Same thing goes with these storms, northwestern Navarro, southeastern Ellis County. They really decreased. So we got some hail. We have some heavy rain. We got gusty winds, and for what it's worth, we will have more severe storm warnings today across central Texas, the hill country, parts of southern North Texas. Some of these storms could produce some pretty big hail. Localized damaging winds. Can't rule out a tornado or two, but the overall threats for tornadoes seems to be, on the short-term wise, decreasing. Now, let's take a look at what we expect over the rest of the day. We're going to look at the high-res rapid refresh model. And I want to look at what it has at 3 o'clock, simply so we can see what we can expect today into tonight. Now, here's 3 o'clock. You can see it's doing okay. I mean, it's not super great, really. It's missing the stuff near Llano. But let's go to 5 o'clock here. I'm just going to loop it. And again, this is an approximation. It's not going to be completely right. It just gives you a sense of timing on storms. Notice, yeah, we might have some more storms later on in DFW. We might have we will have more storms probably across parts of central Texas, northeast Texas. So isolated to scattered severe storms continuing through the afternoon and early evening, maybe mid-evening. But hopefully, we are going to be done with the tornadic issues, at least for a while. The overall tornado threat will remain on the low side for the rest of the afternoon and evening, not zero. Hail, much more likely. Localized damaging winds and heavy rain, also possible. So, all right, with that being said, given the decrease in thunderstorm intensity, given the fact I think the tornado warning for Kaufman County will be canceled here shortly, we are going to go ahead and sign off here in about 1 minute, and I'm going to go try to get more than the 2 hours of sleep I have gotten last night. So, hi. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We've had several tornadoes across southern North Texas, some of which were damaging. There's been damage. China Grove have heard some damage. We definitely have damage based on a tornado debris signature we had between portions of Barry M. House, southwest of Rice, and Alma in northern Navarro County. The extent of damage we don't know yet. Same thing southwest of Penelope, north of Leroy, east of West in southern North Texas. So we've had probably at least 4 to 5, if not a few more tornadoes. But things seem to be calming down for now. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with more severe storms through the afternoon and evening across portions of North Texas, Northeast Texas, maybe even Central Texas. Mostly hail, gusty winds, heavy rainfall. Can't totally rule out a tornado warning or two, but for now, we do seem to have calmed down. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon and this morning. If we have any new tornado warnings, we'll be back. But otherwise, I'm going to go get a nap. We'll keep an eye on things here, as we always do at the Texas Storm Chasers. You can keep an eye on the sky with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app and interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar, or just search for Texas Storm Chasers in your device's app store. You can get your local weather forecasts, interactive weather radars, get updates on storm chasing video, and more. All right, there we go. So, with that being said, we'll keep an eye on things. Hopefully you don't have to see me again today or tonight, but if you do, we'll be here. I'm just quickly making sure I'm not missing anything, because a habit of this seems to be every time I sign off, we end up with some sort of new warning. So I'm just double checking, making sure I'm not missing anything. Pretty strong storm near Emory. A little bit of mid-level rotation. I'm just double checking. But that's it. So again, for what it's worth, real quick, here's the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, Saturday. We're going to be busy tomorrow. The potential for a severe weather outbreak across portions of Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, into Texas. Scattered severe storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, Texoma, northwest Texas, western North Texas, the big country, with the potential for all modes of severe weather, including tornadoes, softball-sized hail-damaging winds, and then we end up with a squall line tomorrow night that'll move from west to east with hail, damaging winds, etc. You've been looking at me this whole time. I'll show you the actual image. Here's the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. And then again, here is the tornado risk for tomorrow. It's going to be busy tomorrow. To be honest, I kind of thought today was going to be the down day, where I'd get to catch up on some sleep, but no. So, all right, that's it. We'll be back if we have any more issues, that's for sure. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. Y'all have a great rest of your afternoon and evening. Stay weather aware tomorrow for sure into Sunday. We'll talk more about that as needed. All right, y'all make it a great day. Have a good one. God bless.